3 days of public hearings in the impeachment inquiry now underway, with first-hand witnesses testifying they saw efforts by President Trump and his supporters to pressure Ukraine to investigate his political rivals.
And then this afternoon, one witness amended the story he told lawmakers behind closed doors. Alice Barr is in Washington with the latest.
If you would both please rise.
Adding an oath to tell the truth to one to defend the country, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman testified today about the July call between President Trump and the leader of Ukraine and what he considered an improper demand to investigate Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Frankly, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My worst fear of how our Ukraine policy could play out was playing out.
Colonel Vindman, a national security advisor, was on the call, along with Jennifer Williams, a top State Department advisor to Vice President Mike Pence, who also found it unusual and inappropriate.
It involved discussion of what appeared to be a domestic political matter.
Later in the day, the committee questioned Ambassador Kurt Volker and a former advisor on the National Security Council, Tim Morrison. Ambassador Volker changing his testimony today to say that though he didn't know it at the time, he now realizes people around him did tell Ukraine to announce investigations that could help President Trump in exchange for military aid, and that a request to investigate the Ukrainian gas company where Joe Biden's son served on the board was more about targeting the Bidens than rooting out corruption.
In retrospect, I should have seen that connection differently, and had I done so, I would have raised my own objections.
Ambassador Volker saying he was trying to thread a needle in Ukraine to satisfy President Trump in hopes of getting the military aid released without entangling foreign policy and domestic politics. Morrison testified he worried the July call between President Trump and Ukraine's leader could play into partisan politics.
My fears have been realized.
Though he has said he was not concerned the two leaders discussed anything illegal. In a week full of testimony, all eyes are really looking ahead to tomorrow, when Ambassador to the European Union Gordon Sondland is set to testify. The one-time Trump donor changed his original closed-door deposition to say there was a quid pro quo in Ukraine.